Number 8. The real story of Apollo 11. How humans reached the moon. In 1969, the world stopped to watch something humanity had dreamed about for thousands of years. Humans were finally going to walk on the moon. Apollo 11 was not just a mission. It was the result of over 400,000 scientists, engineers, and workers across the United States, all working together during the space race between the US and the Soviet Union. The crew consisted of 3 astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. On July 16, 1969, the massive Saturn V rocket lifted off from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. It was one of the most powerful machines ever built by humans. Millions of Americans watched live on television as the rocket rose into the sky. After entering Earth's orbit, the spacecraft began its journey toward the moon. For 3 days, the astronauts traveled through deep space, looking back at the Earth shrinking behind them, a blue and white planet floating in darkness. When Apollo 11 finally reached the moon, the spacecraft separated. Michael Collins stayed in lunar orbit, alone, while Armstrong and Aldrin descended to the surface in the lunar module called Eagle. On July 20th, 1969, the Eagle touched down on the moon. Neil Armstrong then said one of the most famous messages in history. "This is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." For the first time ever, human footprints were left on the lunar surface. They planted the American flag, collected rocks, performed experiments, and left behind a plaque that read, "We came in peace for all mankind." Meanwhile, Michael Collins orbited the moon completely alone, knowing that if anything went wrong on the surface, Armstrong and Aldrin would never return, and he would fly home by himself. After about 21 hours on the moon, the 2 astronauts launched back into lunar orbit, rejoined Collins, and then began the journey back to Earth. On July 24, 1969, Apollo 11 splashed down safely in the Pacific Ocean. The crew was recovered by the U.S. Navy and placed into quarantine, because scientists were not yet sure if the moon had any unknown germs or contaminants. The mission proved something extraordinary. With science, engineering, courage, and teamwork, human beings could leave their own planet. More importantly, Apollo 11 was not only an American victory. It became a moment for the entire world, a reminder that humanity is capable of achieving the impossible. Today, the footprints left on the moon are still there, untouched for more than 50 years, and they may remain for millions more. The question now is simple. If we could reach the moon in 1969, where will humanity go next?